Midweek greetings to all of you watching the book with Susie. Well, each time I come across a book I find interesting, I'm so eager to want to share this with you. Take a look at this book. It is titled, After the GCE, What Next? It is authored by TOULACK, KINGSLEY. Well, for me, this book is timely. Why? Because the GCE results have just been released, and I am very, very sure that there are a lot of young people asking themselves what is next after he or she must have obtained his or her GCE result. Well, this question, definitely you will find an answer on today's program, because I'm so glad to receive the author of this book, TOULACK KINGSLEY. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, madam. I'm so pleased to be here with you.
Yes. You know, before we start, okay, I want to take you back to your own days when you wrote your GCE and passed. Did you have time to ask yourself this question? What next?
I didn't have time to ask myself the question because I knew that I would take the entrance into the medical school, and I was convinced that I would be successful. But unfortunately, I wasn't. And it is after I failed that I asked myself this question. Mm-hmm. And the answers were not forthcoming. And several years later, this question still persists, and I thought I should now answer it for others.
And now, since you are a teacher,
yes, please,
and you come across a lot of your students, do they ask themselves this question?
Often they come to me and tell me, sir, I do not know what to do after the GCE. Mm-hmm. What should I do? What can you advise me to do? And sometimes I instead throw the question at them in the classroom. You'll be taking your final exam in 2 years or this year. What are your plans? What do you have in mind? So it is a persistent question that often comes from both directions. The teachers are asking the students are coming up to the teachers to ask them what they could do after the GCE advanced level.
Okay, now can you tell us, can you share with us your story behind this book's creation?
Yes, this book is inspired by my own personal journey.
Yes.
While I was in secondary school and even the university. From an economically challenging background, it wasn't easy for me to access education. And despite the fact that I was one of the best in my school, I feel that many opportunities passed me by because there was no one to guide me. So, inspired by this story and seeing students today still facing the same challenge, I told myself there is need for someone to solve this problem, and there could be no better person to solve that problem than me, drawing from my own experiences.
Okay, that's amazing. Well, after the GCE, what next is the result of hard work of research. Now, can you tell us exactly what this book is all about? Time for you to present the book for our viewers, because I see here we have 10 chapters.
Yes. Thank you very much. Even though the book is titled After the GCE, What Next? We know that what happens after the GCE is based on what had happened before. So this book kind of lays a foundation for learners from the time they get into primary school right up to the time when they leave high school and even after high school. So we have a total of 10 chapters in this book. The first chapter is primary or basic education, where we lay emphasis on the fact that this is a foundation for lifelong learning, and learners should be given that opportunity to enjoy education and not find it as a burden. In this chapter also, we guide parents on how to make the choice between general and technical education for their children, because these children are still very young and cannot give their consent. In the second chapter, we are looking at after the government common entrance, where the learners are getting into secondary school. We have a general picture of the secondary school, but we'll also look at the choice of arts or science and the factors to consider. Mm-hmm. The third chapter, after the GCE advanced level, we are looking at the immediate things that the candidates are supposed to do, which is to accept, interpret, and understand the results that they have, and leverage technology in order to prepare for the jobs that are with them. In chapter 4, we look at possible pathways after the GCE advanced level, the education pathway, the gap year, the career pathway, and skill development. In chapter 5, we are looking at planning your next steps. When you have chosen a pathway, you need to set goals and develop a personal action plan. In chapter 6, we look at scholarships and financial aids, both in the country and outside. Chapter 7, we have exchange programs. In Chapter 8, we look at all the 11 state universities, the programs they offer, as well as the schools that are affiliated with them. Chapter 9, some of those public institutions which are not directly linked to any state university and their own programs. And in Chapter 10, we look at some of the accredited private universities in Cameroon that some students may want to consider.
Wow, that's very rich. Okay,
yeah,
we're going to come back because it's time for us to take our forward concerning after the GCE, what next?
After the GCE, What Next? By Mr. KINGSLEY. This book is a must-read book because of three most important things that I'm going to highlight. Number one, let us talk about academic journey after secondary school. A lot of young people face challenges and difficulties as to which university, which field of study, or which academic journey are they going to undertake. This book is a solution. You are going to have a solution after reading this book as your university journey is concerned. Now let us talk about global opportunity. A lot of opportunities and the pathways to getting them has been highlighted in this book. Reading this book is going to open your mind to global opportunity, global platforms, and how you can navigate to acquire these opportunities. However, let us talk about your ability to make informed and relevant decisions about your professional journey. This book is going to give you a clear pathway on how you are going to make a wonderful decision that is going to have a positive impact on your academic and professional career.
You're welcome back, and if you're just joining us, you're watching the book with me, Susan Bell. Kingsley, tell me, what are some misconceptions students have about their post-GCE options?
Thank you very much for that very pertinent question. Generally, most of them believe that the only thing that they can do is to further their education. Meanwhile, there are many other options. They can take a gap here where they sit to reflect on the choices they want to make and see if they have those skills to be able to carry on with those choices. They also forget to know that they can either apply to get jobs, or they can start up their own initiatives as young entrepreneurs, or they can get into skill development. So furthering education is not the unique option that they have. And even if they do not have the means to do all of this, why not go for apprenticeship? Nothing stops a high school graduate from going to a mechanic workshop and train to become a mechanic. It's all about making a living and be happy and being happy with what you do.
You've mentioned the pathway
Yes.
after the GCE. This
Yes.
part is equally very, very interesting, which I want you to talk a little more about.
Yes, so in this book, I've elaborated on 4 different pathways that students can take after the GCE advanced level. The first pathway is higher education. And even when a student chooses higher education, there are 2 options. Are you going to university, or you are going to a professional training school? So if you are going to a university or a professional training school, there are a good number of questions you need to ask yourself. What do I want to study? Why do I want to study it? Where do I want to study it? When do I want to start studying it? And how do I want to study it? So that is the educational pathway. Apart from that, you can take a gap year. A gap year is a year where a student intentionally decides to stop his or her formal education to be able to reflect on his or her journey. What do I want to study? Do I have the means to be able to study it? Do I have the skills to continue with what I want to do? And so on. So a gap year will help you to reflect and answer these questions. The next is a career pathway. With the career pathway, either you are getting a job or you are starting up your own initiative as an entrepreneur. Students sometimes feel that they cannot apply for jobs after the GCE advanced level, but they forget that they have played a lot of leadership roles in their school clubs. They have had internships. They have participated in projects. All of this can be showcased on their CVs, and that can help them get a job, or they can use these skills to start up their own initiatives. And the last is the skill development pathway. where we lay emphasis on students acquiring in-demand skills. These are skills that are required by professionals in various areas, and that they can recruit them shortly after they have acquired the skills.
Now, what role do you think mentorship plays in helping students navigate their career paths?
Mentorship, I would say, is one of the key elements that we need, or that young people need, in order to be successful in life. Because you are working with someone who has already walked that path. He or she has already identified several of those mistakes, some of which he or she might have committed, and now has corrected them with you. And it's more of a springboard for you, because you do not have to pass through all the stages that the mentor went through. The mentor can clearly tell you this pathway might not be the best for this reason. You might have the skill, but the job you are looking towards might be replaced by technology in the near future, and you will find yourself stranded. So mentors have a very big role to play as far as guidance of these young people is concerned. And I advise every young person out there to get a mentor if you do not have one already.
How many have you mentored so far?
I've mentored more than 200 students, and of these 200, I assure you over 100 of them have secured global opportunities. They are out there enjoying themselves. Some have scholarships studying in the country, others are studying outside the country. So many of them have participated in exchange programs, and they are back in the country.
Okay, that's great. That's actually beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, it's time for us to take our Vox Pop, and we have this question. What role do you think general education plays in shaping individuals and a society?
General education has a great role in bringing out the full potential that an individual may have, thereby becoming an adaptive, contributing member of the society. It also helps students to be assertive and not aggressive, shaping the student to understand what patterns of behavior they have that is hindering their progress, as a student is the highest responsibility of any teacher.
The role general education plays in the life of an individual and the society is that through general education we are able to know how to correlate with one another. We are informed as to the mistakes or the achievements of other countries. We emulate their examples. We are able to share health information. We are able to share science and technology information. And so we think that general education is very important. But if we have to thin it down to the life of our present society, Cameroon to be specific, well, yes, it is very important. But it has not really helped the people. The society has provided general education, but they have not put certain skills that the learners are able to help themselves with that education. Very few learners earn a living through the education they've got.
You're welcome back. And of course, TOULACK Kingsley is my guest, and the book is After the GCE, What's Next? What's your reaction to that Vox Pop?
With your permission, I'll just get a part of this practical orientation guide, which addresses the question you've just asked. That is on page 6. It says, why should you choose general education? And the very first reason here is that you will be able to do many things because you will have a broad academic background that works for many occupations. You are trained to be able to switch into any occupation later in the future. Why? Because in the early stages of primary and secondary education, most of the learners do not actually know what they want for themselves. They do not know what they want to become. They do not know the problem that they want to solve in the near future. But general education gives you that solid foundation on which you can build and dream big in the future.
Wow, it's so rich. I just like this discussion because I know, just as I am benefiting, I know those who are watching us today, they are equally, taking interest in listening to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, time for us to have on the shelf, and this time around we are picking something very different. Before you pick up a book to read, what do you consider or take into account? Yes, because I know a lot of people, they read.
Yes.
And before they want to read a book, what actually do they take into account? Is it the cover page? Is it the title? Well, that is what we are picking from our shelves today to present to you. Let's watch.
The first thing I consider when I pick up a book to read is its purpose. What am I looking to gain? Am I reading to learn, to get inspired, or just to enjoy a story? Generally, it's the first two for me. Now, how do I know the purpose of the book? How do I have an understanding of the purpose? The first thing is that the purpose of the book, the first thing is that I look at the heading, all right, the title of the book, and if there's a subtitle, I look at the subtitle, because here it already gives me an understanding, a basic knowledge of, oh, this is what this book is going to be talking about. And then the next thing, when I open the book, I look at the table of content. The table of content generally lays a roadmap or a structure, the roadmap and the contents of the book. So I already have an idea, okay, this is what I expect to get from this book as I'm going through. And of course, the next thing is I look at the introduction or the preface, because at the level of the introduction or the preface, the author talks about, sometimes they share why they wrote the book even, and they give a brief summary of what to expect within the book. All right, so when I go through that, it already gives me an idea, and I also know, the emotional state the author had when he was writing the book, the story behind the book, because the story behind the book can inspire me sometimes more than the content of the book itself. All right, so when I have that, it pushes me now to say, all right, let me flip through. And then when I flip through, I try to fall on random pages, right? When I fall on a random page, I can just read briefly and see, oh, the structure, if it aligns with what I really believe at the moment, or what I want to read at the moment. And ultimately, I ask myself, does this book's purpose, structure, and approach align with what I want right now? And if the answer is yes, of course, then I pick it up and I proceed with reading it.
You're welcome back. Of course, if you're just joining us, we were watching the book with Miss Susan Bell, and of course we have TOULACK KINGSLEY in our midst. He has just published this book, After the GCE, What Next? And he says that this book will be launched on the 23rd
of August. Yeah.
Talk to us about this launch.
Thank you very much. This book launch will take place on the 23rd of August 2025 here in Yaoundé at Mboa Hub. Mboa Hub is located at Monte Chapelle Obili, just before English High School, and the launch will take place from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Please, if you are planning to be there, let's keep to time.
Oh, what are you expecting?
We're expecting a lot of guests. We're expecting representatives from the ministries in charge of education. We're expecting several principals of various schools in Cameroon, both private and public. We're expecting so many guidance counselors to be part of the program. We're expecting teachers, we're expecting parents, and above all, so many students.
Now, I see behind here, it costs 5,000 francs.
Yes.
I believe that after the launch, there will be some sale point. Can
Yes.
you tell us where they can head to or what contact they should call?
So after the launch, you could get to me directly on WhatsApp or through a call on 674-197717, or you could send me an email to dontoulack@yahoo.co.uk. That's DONTOULACK@yahoo.co.uk. So during the launch, we will reveal the distribution plan to all those who will be available, because we have colleagues in the different regions, and we want to send these books to every region so that you do not have to pay for the book to be sent to you, or you do not have to move a long distance to be able to get a copy. We want it to be close to each and every one, because this is a must-have for every Cameroonian family.
Okay.
I believe after the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, this is the next book that you should have in your family.
Are you not overdoing it?
I'm not.
Okay. This last question, okay? What do you hope readers will take away from your book before we conclude?
The first thing that readers will take away from this book is that they'll be able to make the right choices as far as their education is concerned and as far as their career is concerned.
Okay.
The second thing is that for those who want funding, they'll be able to identify the various scholarships that match what they want, when the scholarships open, when they close, how they can apply and get them, and the values of these scholarships. For those interested in exchange programs, you have all of them listed in this book. Okay. And above all, parents and teachers now have a resource that they can count on to be able to guide their children and their students.
Oh, thank you very much, Kingsley, for coming.
You're welcome, Susan.
In fact, this copy goes straight to my own son. He has to read it because the material in here is worth it. Thank you for watching this edition of The Book with me, Susan Bell. I hope that you will be there next time because I promise you we'll be having another interesting book. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
have a great day.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.